Welcome to Zerywia, the unboxing and box organization. I spent the last few days, say the last week, in trying to make sense of the game. So first thing is to reinforce the book as I've shown. I'm not sure if I should reinforce the scenario book. Then you have the map. The thing about the map is that you would like to glue this together. However, you shouldn't do that because the winter side is this. So if you would glue everything together, then it wouldn't match up. What you can do is you can glue them the north and the south parts. So like so, you can give some stability and less moving around of the map. Time Wars, like so. So this always stays on the east part. I call this a design flaw. Okay, and this can go. This can go. We don't need it for the organization. Now these wooden things, they are nice, but I'm not going to use them. Thankfully, if you look at this, you can put them on the underside of the foam. Now, if you see this, the first reaction is panic. So, what you do is you use a ziplock for the round terrain things. The debuffs. This is the incursions and threats, the strongholds, and the sacred stones. They can all go together. Then you have the attributes, buffs and debuffs. You can also put them together. The dice, you can put them together. Merc and Merc rifts. You can put them together because they are dynamic. Also terrain modifiers, but in a different instruction part of the scenario setup. Then you have the enemy and hero attributes, buffs and debuffs, and the favor tokens. They can all go together. It's not a final organization, but at least it has some thought behind it. The Pochara and other scenario specific things, and the numbers for the quest order, the timer die and the region die, and the specific Pochara tentacle things, they can all go together. Also I put here the colors of the Sventovit foot thing. I also made a design for die cup, which came out pretty nicely. So the rolling of the dice is less audible. Works great. Pretty expensive. Ordered from America. Now, this mess. How are you going to start organizing? Because all the cards are in random order in glue together packs when you receive the game. So the first idea would be to separate out the terrain cards. There are 4 different colors, one for the mountains, ruins, the blue, mountains, wilderness, that's the fern symbol, and the settlements is yellow. So the first idea would be to split out by color. That is a good idea to start, but it's totally wrong. Well, what happens? The basic idea behind Zerywia is a kind of Lego system. So for every scenario, it goes like so. Let's say, I don't know. Let's start with the first Heart of Streetbog. Then here it describes prepare the decks. So you have the specific enemy types: fiends, scorned, drowners, villas, rot fiends, heartless, foamers, and upers. So from all the enemies, you should make a separate deck by icon. The icon is in the back of the rulebook. It's this list. So that's for the enemies, but you also have a specific. So it's in the prepare the decks. So for the enemy and breed decks, now changes. Let's say here prepare the decks, enemy and breed decks. Fiend, Nightmares and Pacharas, Spawns, Drowners, Villas, Rot Fiends and Upers. Exploration decks, basic set without symbols, Zerywian Tales, and the Pacharas Awakening set. So what you should do is you can separate the terrain colors from all the rest as a first step. Okay. Just by elimination, what you have left then is simpler to understand, and I think this is yeah. So sorry. So what you have now, if you go through the list of the scenario book, you go simply one by one, and then you can make from this subset, you can make the stillness set, and that's only for a campaign 3 to 4. It has 6 wilderness, 10 mountains, 7 ruins, and 8 settlement cards. And this set will be used or not used, depending on the campaign and scenario that you're playing. Okay, so that's done. Then you have Pacharas Awakening. Pacharas Awakening is identified because you know the number, but oh wait. Pacharas Awakening is identified by this symbol. All these cards from the terrain, you separate and keep these together. This is Pacharas Awakening. It's only used for campaign 2.1 to 2.4, so only for campaign 2. Okay. Then you have Black Monolith. Black Monolith is identified by the Merc and the Merc Rift icons together. There are only a few. They're used for campaign 4 only. So you won't be using it anytime soon. Rated of the Scorned. This is terrain with the Scorned icon. I hope it's visible. 6 wilderness, and 6 ruins, 6 settlements, 6 mountains. How do you recognize this? It has this symbol in the top left. So very simple, but you should know this because it's implied in the scenario book, but never explicitly explained. That's why this video is here. This is basic settlements. Basic settlements no icon in the top left, or a scroll, scrolls are... I only found this, which is pretty confusing. Map ability works before or after hero's action. I don't think it is related to the terrain card, but this is basic settlements. They are mentioned, they are used only, well, I forgot to mention it, but it's mentioned in, it's used in specific scenarios. Wilderness basic, yeah, so what I wanted to say is there are a lot of basic cards, and it makes sense to split them by terrain type, so you can later combine these easily, and then shuffle, and then okay, Zerywian tales identified by yeah, it's different from the black monolith. It has merc and an inverted merc. So and these are used in campaigns 2, 4, and 1, 1.1 and onward. So now that you have these, you can make some sense in the game, like so. So you, instead of laying them down, you can lay them up, and if you write on the sides of the wrappers, you can easily find for the given campaign what you need on terrain. Okay, onward to the enemies. What are the enemies? Okay, the enemies are easy to recognize because they have in the text under they usually have a challenge, but in the text under they have a specific symbol. These symbols you can already make for this list. So there are 5 Papil sentries because it's Papil sentries, and here it is the icon. So so you do this for the Heartless, the Drowners, Rot Fiends, Fomor, Fiends, Shadow Spawn, Enemy Upper, Scorned, you know the symbol by now, Villas, what was this? Nightmares, and Monolith Guardian. So you can of course already guess that Monolith Guardian enemies are only used in the last campaign. Then we have what do we have here? Okay, we have here the actual campaigns. If you read the instructions prior to the first tutorial, you will notice that there are specific cards for the tutorial enemy deck. Takes a lot of time to show all this, but yeah, this is Path of the Chosen One. Campaign 1 masks, Humor's masks. You can identify this by the pages of Dawn with a light color, and the black pages simply called 1A, 1, 2B, 2C, 2D, 2A, 2B, 2C, 3B, and these 4 should belong to the campaign 1 as is described in the setup. It's actually pretty clear in the scenario what cards are used. So the same goes for campaign 2, Porchara. Yeah, well, you have the same order, 1A, etc. You can figure this out. Heart of Stribok, same idea. This chick is also clearly explained in the rule book, but it makes 4 Edges of Oblivion. So you have the 5 campaign decks, and these should be stored in a grouped fashion. Then you have the birds. The birds are actually terrain cards, so that's why they were in the terrain pack. They only come into play at campaign 4 scenarios 3 and 4. This is also explained in the scenario book, but you should not draw them outside of these scenarios. Okay, what do we have? Then we have the legends. Now the legends are very cool. They are played in between scenarios. So say from tutorial 1 to tutorial 2, you can decide to play any one of these. Maximum is 1, and you can replay them. You can stop halfway. They have all similar back, and they are all numbered, and they end with some kind of climax. It's all same kind of structure. I just gave them a number so I can score them for myself to see how far I got. So you have 110 of these cards. Gates of the Abyss, Barrow of Living Stone, Broken Gates. Oh wait, these are the latter ones. 5, 4. I don't just number them. Sorry for this. It's just a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, here we go. The Gate of Decay is an expansion, but it doesn't really matter because it's part of the box. 2. Vavel Grotto, also expansion, can play anytime. Roots of the Wind, Legend 3. Legend 4, Gates of the Abyss, expansion. Legend 5, Barrow of Living Stone, expansion. Legend 6, Ice Entrance. I hope it's a bit turned. Okay, Ice Entrance. Legend 7, Island in the Swamp. Enemy at the Gates. That's expansion 8. So these you can play anytime. Then there is the 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.1 Shadow Bay, must reach campaign for scenario 4 first. This is an alternative end, so you can play the whole epos. It's insane. You can play the whole epos like tutorial 1 and 2, and then 16 scenarios with the end, or you can play tutorial 1 and 2 and 15 scenarios, and then 1, 2, and 3. Abyss of the Patience, so no idea what it is, but you must play this first, and then this, and then this. So that's the legends, very simple if you know how to play them. Then what you have left is the sagas, of course. We ignore these. Let's say so many. Okay. Saga. Okay, what do we have now? Then we have the item cards, 24 item cards, very simple. should be in a deck, can be played anytime. Creature cards, it's 4x4, but you should remove the devil unless the scenario specifies it. And there is for every of the 4 colors is one devil, and you will know it when you find it. And I should remove it and put it in the specific campaign, but I haven't figured it out yet. Then the Scorned cards. The Scorned cards are like the gold cards. Shit, where are the gold cards? Gold cards. For you have the heroes, and you should play the heroes first. Should play the heroes first, and the heroes have the birthmark, but they can become defiled, and defiled this is the defile, well, this ally and defiled deck taken together. I'll explain later. Scorned, but the Scorned don't have birthmarks. They have Scorned cards. They're kind of anti-birthmarks, if you will. You draw one at random when playing the Scorned. So let's say Scorned. Okay. This Hex Drinker is a hero. Here are the gold cards. Okay, cool. The gold cards, there are 6 plus the Mark of Timer cards, 4. Take these together because you draw a birthmark for your normal hero, not the Scorned, and you actually will want to pray to a god, so that the 6 gods should be together with the timer cards, as they are called, timer birthmark cards. This is done. Okay. Now there are 2 kinds of heroes, as I already said. You have Svara, and she has the Whole Eater Saga as personal saga deck. So what you do here is, she has the defiled. She can be defiled. I should make an allied deck later. Stuff that looks like this. Very simple. Recommended Coral and Cora, as in the rulebook. A rulebook page that you can never find. Hex Drinker, personal saga deck, Azada's Claw. What does it look like? Good question. Why is it like so? Okay, these are the Hex Drinker cards, I guess. This is Azada's Claw. This is his personal thing. So that's a bit how it works. You choose the hero. You take the personal saga deck that is that belongs to him, and then 2 others. Until you have until you become cursed or dread. Okay, this is Veda, the hero. She is with Janus Wraith, Scarecrow, and Drowned Sight. Janus Wraith looks like this. They're friends. Don't ask me why. Okay, so you have this bunch of heroes: Gorif, the Hungerer, Leshy, the Beast Tamer. Personal saga deck. Very simple, easy to figure out. But there are things that are not so easy to figure out. No. No. I'm missing one. is, yeah, okay, Dalbor. Dalbor, son of Kauki, hero, personal saga deck, Kauki Legacy, recommended Flash and Mercbinder. Okay, so these are for the heroes. The Scorned, same thing. Asirs is a legend. Scorned, personal saga deck. Worm's daughter. It's written on the card, you can find it. Then Zagara. She's a legend. Scorned, personal saga deck. Exalted Witch. It's also literally on the card. Otok, L, the half giant should be here. Personal saga deck, Sons of Earth, also simple. Then Wiednoors, legend Scorned, personal saga deck, Scorned Executor. And last, next to last, Cost, L, Scorned, personal saga deck, Saga of the Deathless. And now we get up into dubious water, because nowhere in the game, thank you Dominic, is the recommended two sagas that you should take. On the other hand, you should play these after you have finished the game many times, and then go into the Scorns, and then you have some idea what could be recommended. So it's one way or the other. Now Asuba is the Devil's Deal. You can also find this in this card, the Heroes of Zerywia. Okay, they explain a little bit of the lore behind it, so you can, you can guess what goes with each one. But I haven't figured out Asuba's personal saga deck yet. Scorned cards we talked about. Now, Drowned Seer, Drowned Sight. One, it's one of these random saga decks that you can take. There is space. Okay, Elemental Blade or Koga. Bone Ritual, Bone Armor. Also not the symbol. Faces of Fear, Scarecrow. Ember Bird or Flash. This generic saga deck. Axe of Merc, Mercbinder. You've seen this before. Armor of the Depths, Sea Sentinel Plate. Peacebringer, Peacemaker. Fate Weaver, Fate Splitter. Yukata's Tear, Ember Heart. Clear to see. Offering Blade, Harpy. Merc Shadow, Merc Shade. Preplot's Blade, Quarrel. And Root Sentinel, Protective Rhizome. It's written on the card, very simple. Now next, I didn't